story of Persephone. In the beginning of time, there was no winter. Every day the sun shone and showers lasted only long enough to make a rainbow. Trees had leaves all year round and bore fruit and flowers together. After defeating the Titans, the three most powerful gods of Olympus drew lots to decide how to share out this fresh new world between them. They shook the lots in a helmet, and each god drew the lot that suited him best. Zeus, the mightiest of the gods, became lord of the earth and sky and ruled them with his thunderbolts. His brother, blustery Poseidon, won the seas and took delight in making floods and gales. The third brother, gloomy and morose Hades, became the king of the underworld, land of the dead. From his underground kingdom, Hades looked enviously at the world above. He was pleased to rule the shadows whose earthly life was over, for his subjects could never escape. "There are no rebels in my kingdom," he boasted grimly. He dearly longed for a little of life's warmth to cheer his icy palace. He had seen on earth a young girl so beautiful that she outshone everyone, yet so happy that she was never without companions. Her name was Persephone. Hades wanted her as his queen. Mounting his chariot, drawn by black horses, Hades rode to Mount Olympus and demanded that Zeus should give him Persephone as his bride. Zeus was cautious. He could not please Hades without angering Persephone's mother, the powerful goddess Demeter, who caused all living things to grow. She made seeds sprout and blossoms open and fruits swell. The thought of her daughter living in the dim underworld would be hateful to her. So Zeus's answer was diplomatic. "That might be an excellent idea," he said. A little later on, for several days, Hades sat brooding on his iron throne. Then he leapt into his chariot and rode his black horses out of the earth and snatched up Persephone as she was gathering wild flowers in a meadow. He galloped away with her, and the earth closed over them. Her companions heard her shrieks and came running, but they could find no trace of her, nothing but a bunch of flowers she had let fall on the grass. When Demeter learned that her daughter had vanished, she wrapped herself in a long, dark cloak and went out into the world to look for her. She wandered for 9 days and nights, asking every living creature for news of Persephone. No one had seen her. She was returning weary and heartbroken when she saw a piece of ribbon in a deep cleft among the grass. It was Persephone's girdle. Not knowing what this could mean, but full of dread, she sank down upon a stone and wept. And Helios, the god who drives the sun across the sky, came to her at nightfall and told her that from his chariot he had seen Persephone carried off by Hades to be queen of the underworld. Then Demeter's sorrow turned into a terrible rage. She vowed that nothing should grow on earth until her daughter was given back to her. No one could make the angry goddess change her mind. When farmers sowed their fields, the seed rotted in the ground. Stems of plants withered and the trees lost their leaves, fruit shriveled, and the corn grew mildewed. The people of the earth were in despair and starving. They blamed the gods and harassed them with never-ending prayers to put things right. Zeus saw that he must take action. He sent his son Hermes, the silver-tongued messenger of the gods, to plead with Hades. Hermes was the only god likely to talk Hades into parting with his bride. The god's messenger was as nimble as the air through which he darted on winged sandals. His wits were nimbler still. Humbly and with a charming smile, he presented himself before Hades, who sat enthroned, with pale-lipped Persephone by his side. She seemed a shadow of herself, for despite Hades' coaxing, she had refused to eat a morsel since he had brought her here. Great Lord, began Hermes, the gods of Olympus are impressed by the changes you have brought about in the world. People are all dying, agreed Hades calmly, and then they come to me. And when all are dead, said Hermes, how will your empire grow when there are no new souls to swell it? Have pity on the world, think of the future, and let Persephone go. Hades gave him a long look and then sighed as if his heart were broken. Take her, he said, and I will rule alone. Joyfully, Hermes led Persephone back to the day. Demeter flung her arms round her daughter to kiss her, but then she drew back in alarm. She had felt the cold touch of the underworld upon her daughter's cheek. Did you eat anything in Hades' kingdom? She asked her anxiously. Nothing, mother, Persephone replied. But I was so thirsty that Hades gave me a pomegranate to suck, and I swallowed 7 of its seeds. Then Demeter knew that Hades had tricked her, for no one who eats the food of the dead can escape the underworld. Even all-powerful Zeus could not alter this law, but he made Hades accept a compromise. For half of each year, Persephone must reign in the underworld. Then Demeter's sorrow makes the earth grow cold, leaves fall, and plants hide in the soil. Winter comes. But for the rest of the year, Persephone is restored to her mother. The first flowers appear and spring returns. Demeter forgets her grief, and the earth teems with life again.